Can you believe that the origin of humans and all the creatures we know today began with a fish that dared to leave the water? Yes, it was such an impressive evolutionary leap that it shaped the future of life on Earth. About 375 million years ago, a fish called Chicktalic not only evolved, it crossed a seemingly insurmountable boundary, trading the comfort of the aquatic world for the challenges of dry land. In this video, you'll discover how this almost mystical transition happened and why it was so crucial for us to walk, breathe, and live as we do today. You'll meet Chicktalic, the fish that refused to accept the limits of its environment and paved the way for the emergence of mammals, birds, reptiles, and eventually us. Get ready for a journey filled with evolutionary challenges, astonishing adaptations, and scientific discoveries that show how we are all connected to this incredible moment in the history of life. Together, let's uncover the legacy of this extraordinary fish. The Earth's landscape 375 million years ago. To understand the magnitude of Chicktalic's story, we need to travel back in time and imagine the Earth as it was 375 million years ago. During the Devonian period, known as the Age of Fishes, our planet was dominated by shallow seas and rivers that stretched across vast regions. Warm climates prevailed, and the terrestrial landscape was sparse, with only a few patches of dry land emerging between bodies of water. At this time, life was centered around aquatic environments, where everything happened. This period marked an explosion of biodiversity in the oceans. Bony fish, primitive sharks, and other marine creatures filled the waters, each occupying its niche in a vibrant ecosystem. Meanwhile, along the edges of continents, the first primitive forests began to take shape, with plants adapting to the challenges of surviving outside water. These forests would serve as a prelude to much larger transformations to come. In the heart of the oceans, something remarkable was happening. Fish were evolving at an astonishing rate, driven by environmental challenges. Competition for resources and the need to escape predators spurred adaptations that would forever change these creatures. Among them emerged the sarcopterygian fish, species with lobe-shaped fins and robust bones that set them apart from their peers. These fish were not just survivors. They were preparing for a revolution. And here enters Chicktalic, our protagonist. This fish, discovered centuries later in rock layers in the Canadian Arctic, is more than just a fossilized record. It represents the bridge between the aquatic and terrestrial worlds. With fins resembling limbs and a body adapted for breathing outside water, Chicktalic defied the rules of nature, becoming the precursor to a new era. Its impact goes far beyond its time. It shaped the history of life as we know it. Chicktalic, a missing link, discovered in 2004 in a remote region of the Canadian Arctic, Chicktalic Rosie quickly stood out as one of the most important pieces in the puzzle of evolution. This bony fish, which lived about 375 million years ago, was no ordinary fish. It bore features that placed it between traditional aquatic creatures and the first terrestrial animals, the famous tetrapods. Its adaptations marked a transitional milestone. Among its unique features were its robust fins, which were more than tools for swimming. They were almost limbs. These bony structures were strong enough to support the weight of its body on land, a rare feat for fish of its time. Additionally, Chicktalic had a mobile neck, a groundbreaking evolutionary development that set it apart from any other known fish. This ability allowed it to move its head independently from its body, facilitating interactions with its terrestrial surroundings. But the most astonishing feature was its ability to breathe air. With rudimentary lungs, Chicktalic could absorb oxygen directly from the air, a vital resource in environments where water was scarce or oxygen depleted. This adaptation not only gave it a competitive edge, but also opened the doors to exploring new habitats. In essence, it was an evolutionary pioneer. The discovery of this missing link was a landmark for modern science. Chicktalic filled crucial gaps in our understanding of how life evolved from oceans to land. More than just a fish, it became a symbol of resilience and adaptability that defines the story of life on our planet. Why leave the water? The move from water to land wasn't an act of adventure, but a response to drastic environmental changes. During the Devonian period, lakes and rivers often faced severe droughts, lowering water levels and creating critical situations for aquatic life. The scarcity of oxygen in these environments forced species to find innovative solutions to survive. Some fish developed adaptations that allowed them to explore areas outside the water, where new resources could be found. Chicktalic was one of these adapted creatures, using its strong fins to move onto land. This ability didn't appear overnight. It was a result of millions of years of evolution and selective pressures. Every small step, or fin drag, was a significant advance toward survival in a changing world. For Chicktalic, leaving the water wasn't a choice but a necessity. This transition also brought significant advantages. Outside the water, Chicktalic could escape aquatic predators that dominated the rivers and lakes of its time. Additionally, dry land provided access to new types of food, such as small invertebrates that lived along the shores. It was a new world of possibilities, but also challenges that demanded constant adaptations. Over generations, these pioneering creatures transformed their fins into limbs that were increasingly functional and capable of meeting the demands of a terrestrial environment. This gradual evolution paved the way for tetrapods, the first vertebrates to conquer the land. Chicktalic, with its involuntary bravery, not only survived but initiated a revolution that would forever change the course of life on Earth. The transition to terrestrial life. Chicktalic's story was only the first chapter in a transformative journey. Over millions of years, its descendants evolved, adapting more and more to life on land. Its robust fins gave way to fully functional limbs, enabling efficient movement on solid ground. These evolutionary pioneers, known as tetrapods, explored the new frontiers between water and land. The first tetrapods lived in a balance between the two worlds. They spent part of their lives in water, where they found safety and food, and part on land, where they could explore a new ecosystem full of opportunities. However, this transition wasn't simple. It required a series of physiological and behavioral adaptations that shaped their evolutionary future. Over time, these creatures developed more efficient lungs capable of extracting oxygen from the air. Their skeletons became stronger and more flexible, allowing them to support their body's weight outside water. These changes not only ensured their survival, but also paved the way for remarkable diversification. This evolution culminated in an incredibly diverse group of terrestrial vertebrates, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and eventually mammals emerged as direct descendants of this pioneering lineage. Each of these groups brought new abilities and innovations, but all share a common origin: Chicktalic and its first steps into an unknown world. Mammals, including us, are the pinnacle of this evolutionary journey. Our existence is the result of an incredibly long and complex process initiated by that first fish that dared to explore outside water. Chicktalic's story isn't just about a fish. It's about the origin of all terrestrial life forms that shape our world today. One of the most striking pieces of evidence of this connection lies in our anatomy. Like Chicktalic, we have bones in our limbs that follow the pattern of a single bone connected to two others, a formation that allows for essential mobility in walking, lifting objects, and performing complex tasks. Even our wrists and necks are direct inheritances of this transition, highlighting how crucial this evolutionary milestone was to how we interact with the world today. Today, as we reflect on our existence, we see that Chicktalic is more than just a missing link in the evolutionary chain. It is a living reminder that the courage to explore the unknown is what drives all life. Without it, the story of Earth would have taken a very different path, and perhaps we wouldn't be here to tell it.